The numbers are in, and they're sending shockwaves through the basketball world. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever will appear on national television more times than LeBron James, Steph Curry, and even Luka Doncic this upcoming season. That's right, the rookie sensation who transformed women's basketball is now outshining the NBA's biggest stars in prime time slots. The Indiana Fever have secured 41 nationally televised games, while the Lakers only have 39, and you won't believe how Angel Reese and others are reacting to this shocking development. I'm not here to tell you that the Indiana Fever are popular. I'm also not here to tout how many national TV games they got. That should be obvious at this point. Anyone who doesn't understand that is being willfully obtuse. I didn't even really think of anything of it when I saw the news that the Fever would have 44 games televised next season, national TV games next year. Of course, there are more games, so there's more games to televise, but this ain't really any different than last season. In fact, I'm surprised all of their games aren't nationally televised. I mean, the truth of the matter is that the Fever are a bigger draw. Let's break down these mind-blowing numbers that have the basketball world in a frenzy. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever will be featured in 41 nationally televised games this season. That's more than any single NBA player or team will receive. The Los Angeles Lakers with LeBron James, only 39 games. Think about that for a second. A WNBA player who's only in her second season is getting more national TV exposure than the biggest stars in basketball. This is the WNBA. This is a league where 5 years ago, only 5 years ago, how few teams played in an NBA arenas? We're 3 years away from the only we're 3 years removed from the only content in the WNBA that got views, either being fights or low-light compilations. Now, Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever are going to have more national TV games. And here's what makes this even more impressive. NBA players compete in 82 games per season, while WNBA players only play 40 regular season games. This means nearly every Indiana Fever game will be broadcast nationally. If Clark played the same number of games as NBA stars, she'd potentially have over 60 nationally televised appearances. That's complete dominance of the airwaves. The networks aren't making these decisions based on feelings or favoritism. They're following the cold, hard data. When Clark entered the WNBA last year, viewership numbers exploded. The 2023 WNBA draft, where Clark was selected first overall, drew 2.4 million viewers, a 524% increase from the previous year. Her WNBA debut against the Connecticut Sun attracted 2.1 million viewers, making it the most-watched WNBA game in 24 years. When they go on the road, people change venues. When they're on TV, they are watched at a rate higher than every other team, and there's not a close second. Alright, so that's just it. That's how things work. The TV broadcast partners are the ones who are asking for certain games. They're not being forced on them. They're saying, we want this because that is business. They're standing on business. At the same time, this is a good thing. It's a good thing. And I'm not going to spend any time worried about social media complaints about it either. I feel like those got amplified too much last season. During her rookie season, Clark shattered 63 WNBA records, not just rookie records, all-time records. She broke the single-season assist record. She set the rookie scoring record. She recorded the first ever 30-point, 10-assist, 5-rebound playoff performance in WNBA history. The numbers don't lie. Caitlin Clark isn't just great, she's historically great, but this isn't just about individual achievement. Let's remember where the Indiana Fever were before Clark arrived. They won just 11 games the season before drafting her, and only 7 games the year before that. They were basement dwellers, an afterthought in the WNBA conversation. Fast forward to Clark's rookie season, and suddenly they're in the playoffs, playing exciting basketball that captivated fans across the country. What we're witnessing is transformative. The Indiana Fever went from playing in arenas with 4,000 as 5,000 seats to selling out NBA venues with 18,000, 20,000 capacity. When the Fever faced the Liberty at Barclays Center last season, They set an attendance record with over 17,000 fans. The economic impact is staggering. Clark's presence is estimated to have generated over $30 million for the city of Indianapolis alone, and it's not just about in-person attendance. Social media engagement for WNBA content increased by over 400% during Clark's rookie season. Merchandise sales skyrocketed, with Clark's jersey becoming the best-selling rookie jersey in WNBA history. The Fever's social media followers grew by over 300% in a single year. These are the metrics that network executives and league officials care about, and they explain why Clark is getting this unprecedented TV exposure. But not everyone is celebrating this meteoric rise. The reaction from some WNBA veterans has been telling, to say the least. Without naming names, there's been significant pushback against Clark's prominence in the league's marketing efforts. Some players have questioned whether Clark deserves this level of attention, suggesting that other stars with longer tenures are being overlooked. Angel Reese, Clark's college rival turned WNBA competitor, has had a particularly complicated relationship with Clark's ascension. During their college days, their matchups were must-see TV, culminating in the 2023 NCAA championship game that drew a record 9.9 million viewers. While Reese has publicly stated she respects Clark's game, there's been undeniable tension between their fan bases, and subtle comments suggesting Reese feels overlooked despite her own impressive rookie campaign. When the TV schedule was announced, Reese posted a cryptic message on social media that many interpreted as a direct response to Clark's television dominance. Without directly mentioning Clark, the timing was suspicious, coming just hours after the schedule release. This isn't the first time we've seen this kind of reaction. When Clark was featured prominently in last year's All-Star festivities, several veterans made similar veiled comments, but here's the reality that some players seem unwilling to accept. This isn't about favoritism or preferential treatment, it's about business. The networks aren't putting Clark on television 41 times because they like her more than other players. They're doing it because viewers tune in when she plays. It's simple supply and demand. Consider this. Before Clark arrived, the WNBA's average viewership hovered around 400,000 per game. Games featuring Clark last season averaged over 1 million viewers, with some matchups exceeding 2 million. That's a 150% increase in viewership whenever she steps on the court. What network executive wouldn't want those numbers? And for players complaining about the attention Clark receives, there's a simple solution. Use this as an opportunity. If you're playing against the Indiana Fever this season, chances are you're playing on national television. Instead of resenting the spotlight, step into it. Outplay her. Show the millions of new viewers what you can do. Turn those eyes that came to watch Clark into your own fans. This is actually a rising tide that lifts all boats. The increased attention on the WNBA benefits everyone associated with the league. Player salaries are directly tied to league revenue, which has increased substantially thanks to the Clark effect. More viewers mean more advertising dollars, which ultimately translates to better compensation for all players. Let's also address another misconception. Clark isn't just getting this attention because of hyper-marketing, she's getting it because she delivers an exciting brand of basketball. The Indiana Fever transformed their style of play last season, becoming one of the most dynamic offensive teams in the league. Clark's no-look passes, logo three-pointers, and electric transition play make for compelling television, and she's not doing it alone. Her teammates have elevated their games alongside her. Kelsey Mitchell enjoyed her best professional season playing alongside Clark. Aliyah Boston, the previous year's #1 pick, flourished with Clark feeding her the ball. The entire team played with a joy and energy that was contagious, turning their games into must-watch events. What's particularly impressive about Clark's impact is how quickly it happened. Most rookies, even generational talents, take time to adjust to the professional level, not Clark. After a brief adjustment period at the start of the season, she took the league by storm. Post-Olympic break, the Fever were one of the hottest teams in the WNBA, with Clark playing at an all-star level. The narrative that Clark hasn't earned this level of attention doesn't hold up to scrutiny. Has any player in WNBA history had a more impactful rookie season? She didn't just put up impressive personal statistics, she transformed a franchise, brought millions of new fans to the league, and changed the economics of women's basketball. If that doesn't earn you TV time, what does? Critics point to established stars like Aja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Diana Taurasi, arguing they deserve similar spotlight, and they're right that these players are incredible talents who merit recognition. But what they're missing is that Clark isn't taking attention away from these stars. She's creating new attention that benefits everyone. The pie is getting bigger, not being divided differently. This dynamic isn't unique to women's basketball. When Tiger Woods exploded onto the PGA Tour, golf viewership skyrocketed. When Serena Williams played in a Grand Slam final, tennis ratings doubled. Transcendent athletes who capture the public imagination have always been featured prominently by networks. That's not favoritism. It's smart business. The real question we should be asking isn't why Clark is getting so much attention, but rather, what can the league do to leverage this moment to create sustained growth? How can the WNBA ensure that the millions of new fans who came to watch Clark stay engaged with the broader league? These are the constructive conversations we should be having. For the Indiana Fever, expectations are sky high this season. Clark is no longer a rookie feeling her way through the league. She's now a proven star with a target on her back. Every team will bring their best effort when facing the Fever, especially with the national TV audience watching. How Clark and her teammates respond to this pressure will be one of the most fascinating storylines of the upcoming season. The Fever have strengthened their roster, adding veteran pieces around their young core, with a full season of chemistry built between Clark and Boston. Plus the continued development of their supporting cast. Many analysts are picking the Fever as legitimate championship contenders. That's an extraordinary turnaround for a franchise that was lottery-bound just 2 seasons ago. Looking ahead, the implications of Clark's TV dominance extend beyond just this season. The WNBA is in the midst of media rights negotiations, with their current deal set to expire soon. The Clark effect has dramatically increased the league's leverage in these talks, potentially leading to a massive increase in revenue. Reports suggest the next media deal could be worth 5 times the current agreement, money that will benefit every player in the league. For the networks, the calculation is simple. Live sports remain one of the few types of programming that consistently draw large audiences in an era of fragmented media consumption. Clark's games deliver those audiences reliably. ESPN, CBS, NBC, and Amazon have all recognized this value, which explains the unprecedented coverage. Perhaps the most exciting aspect of this situation is what it means for young girls watching at home. A generation of future basketball players is growing up seeing women's basketball featured prominently on national television. They're seeing packed arenas, passionate fans, and high-level play. The long-term impact of this visibility on participation rates and the talent pipeline could be transformative for women's sports. So while some may view the attention Clark receives with envy or resentment, the bigger picture suggests this is a watershed moment for women's basketball. The unprecedented TV coverage isn't just a recognition of one player's star power, it's a recognition that women's sports, when given proper investment and platform, can capture the public imagination and deliver tremendous value. The challenge now for both Clark and the league is to build on this momentum. For Clark, can she elevate her game even further in her sophomore season? Can she lead the Fever to championship contention? For the league, can they use Clark's popularity as a springboard to elevate other stars and teams? Can they convert the casual fans who tune in for Clark into dedicated WNBA followers? These questions will be answered in the coming months, but one thing is already clear. Caitlin Clark's impact extends far beyond the 94 feet of the basketball court. She's changing how networks value women's sports, how fans engage with the WNBA, and how the business of women's basketball operates. That's not hyper-favoritism. That's the power of a generational talent who arrived at precisely the right moment. The basketball world has never seen anything quite like the Clark phenomenon. And with 41 nationally televised games on the schedule, basketball fans everywhere will have a front-row seat to witness the next chapter of this remarkable story. Whether you're a longtime WNBA fit or a newcomer drawn in by Clark's brilliance, the upcoming season promises unprecedented exposure for women's basketball. And for those players feeling overshadowed, remember this: the spotlight Clark brings illuminates everyone on the court. The opportunity is there to shine alongside her, not in her shadow. The best response to the attention Clark receives isn't resentment, it's excellence. The microphones are on and the cameras are rolling. What will you do with your moment? There you have it. The undeniable impact of Caitlin Clark is changing the landscape of basketball as we know it. Whether this creates more tension within the WNBA or serves as a catalyst for unprecedented growth remains to be seen. But one thing's certain, women's basketball will never be the same. If you enjoyed this breakdown of basketball's newest phenomenon, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more unfiltered sports analysis. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss when I drop a new video.